Well, I thought, for what it's worth, I thought your setup in your review of Manic, at least, and truthfully, that's what I've seen. So I don't. If there's past things that I haven't seen.
Oh, I made fun of you guys for genting in a colored room.
Okay.
Oh, bro, it's Hotline Bling, but metalcore. Come on.
Yes.
That's what we were saying when we're shooting it.
Yeah.
Yes. And I've made fun of the Architects riff a couple times.
Cool. You ready? Can I give you the story? Can we give the
please do. I would love to hear it.
The exclusive take right here.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm going to give you the full thing, baby.
Okay, yeah, please do.
Okay, so, I'll come out and say it. I'm a huge Architects fan. Always have been. You can hear it in our music. You can hear it from record one that I love Architects. And the fact that no one has been like, I hear Architects vibe in this until that song, it's just like, we've always loved Architects, and rest in peace, Tom Serrell, like, huge inspiration on me, on all of metalcore. Like, any band that you can imagine, like, Architects has always been there. I saw Architects for the first time when I was like 14. They were on, it was Sounds, or no, it was Sounds. It was called the Cool Tour, and they were like 3 of 10. Like, they were on the Hollow Crown cycle. Their banner was a piece of paper against Azalea Dying's gong symbol. And I just remember sitting there in House of Blues Orlando and just being like, this band rips so hard. You know what I mean? And I didn't come back to them until they kind of switched from like the panic chord side into the like more melodic metalcore side. But so we get to Low. And this is going to require me to dive into my phone because when we put out this song, I made this video and I promised I would never post it, so I'm not going to. But I'm going to, like, straight up, I have date marks and everything. I wrote the riff for Low long before Doomsday ever came out. I have exactly the way that it is. The cadence, which is the only thing that people can find me on, is the fact that it's, all of that. It is exactly the same way that it was. And I have the date stamps of Doomsday release and me writing the riff. And very unfortunately, or maybe even fortunately for us, it's one of our biggest songs now. And maybe that's due to debate. Maybe that's due to people liking it. Like, whatever it might be, like, they ended up being extremely similar. And just like we were talking about earlier, like, we have made it a point to put all of our efforts into the positive things as opposed to the negative things. So it came out, obviously people are like, oh, it's Doomsday or whatever. And it's just like, I can obviously, as a musician, I can count beats, I can count whatever. Like, I can see where the similarities are. No disrespect to Architects. And honestly, at this point, if my riff pays respect and homage to Tom Serrell, I'm stoked. You know what I mean? Sure. Like, he's a legend in our scene and someone that I've always looked up to as a riff writer. But I mean, straight up facts, like, I did not steal that riff. Like, I'm gonna have to find it right now. Chris,
I feel like bottom line, it's like, is it Architects inspired? Like, 100%. It's just like, and so is so much of our music. And it's just like, and I remember even being in the studio when we were like recording that song, and like, it's certainly like, it got talked about, and it's like, because we knew like, this does sound similar. And it's like, but it was hard for us to decide, like, okay, we make the song worse on purpose to avoid something being similar that I know was like almost just like an accident that they came out that way. It's like, I don't know. You just go through that, like, well, I don't want to make the song worse. You kind of just accept. And the same thing you had said at the end of our video, like, I very much hope Architects doesn't hate us, because it would hurt,
They seem, I've never met them, but they seem like great guys. So I'm sure that they don't. But it's kind of like you were saying earlier, the boundaries of metalcore are narrow enough that it's totally believable to me that two people could come up with two riffs that sound pretty similar like that. Just like, how many people have accidentally written the same thing as a Killswitch riff? Yeah, probably tons, because it's like, well, if you're going to write something in that style, the boundaries are pretty narrow. So two people could certainly come up with the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, I just pulled up the video, which I guess I don't have to show or whatever.
Yeah. Cody's like, I got receipts.
We believe you.
Yeah, it's all good.
It's June 9th, 2017 is when I wrote the riff. Doomsday came out. Let's see here.
We believe you, Cody.
This is like the OJ trial. It's like the glove. Like, if it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
Yeah. Well, no, I just, I've always wanted to set it straight, and I'm glad I get to do it here. And again, there's no disrespect. Like, I have all of the respect and love for Architects. Like, to this day, a fan. Like, I think they're a great band. But I think what makes me excited, looping it back to Manic, is that this is the first record where I feel like at no point on this record are you going to listen to a single part of this and be like, oh, like they got that from that or whatever, or like this sounds like that. Like, I think we finally found identity. And there's still some of those elements of like the really melodic down-tuned metalcore, whatever. Like, there's some of that on there, but for the most part, like, I think we finally found something that people are like, this is Wage War, you know what I mean? And I remember for us, the first time, like, I would go on Reddit metalcore or whatever and find like, the FFO : thing where it's like for fans of it, people would say Wage War, and I was like, dang, like that's so cool. Like, people
to start being the band that
to start being like some kind of a bar or a standard. Yeah. So, sorry, I didn't mean to dive too deep into that, but
no, I love that. I genuinely, I appreciate that you, that you shared that. That's cool to know. And, it's totally possible for people to, come up with, there's a term for it, but, come up with similar ideas in parallel. Like, it happens all the time.
Telepathy.
What's that?
It's like telepathy.
Yes. ESP.